Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chelsea, and for those of you tuning in for the first time, I am a first-time mommy to a little girl due in July, and this is my 29-week pregnancy update, which means this is the last week in my 20s. I told that to my husband yesterday, and I said, babe, you know this is the last week in my 20s, and he was like, you're 30 years old. I was like, no, my 20s for pregnancy. This is crazy. We're in the third trimester. This is the home stretch. Like, as of this Saturday coming, I'm going to be 10 weeks away from holding our child, which is overwhelming and exciting and very scary at the same time. I think there's a little bit of like, oh my God, this is really getting real setting in. But exciting feeling, but very like anticipatory. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Little bit on baby this week. She is measuring at about 2.6 pounds and I think close to 15.2 inches now, which the Bump app says that is the size of an acorn squash. And I don't know that there's been a whole lot of change. I mean, I guess there is change, but they do like the length and sometimes it's the weight. So I think this week it's definitely more of the weight being about 2.6, 2.7 pounds versus the length, which I think is coming next week. I think next week she's gonna be the size of zucchini. So yeah, acorn squash this week. And a little bit about my stats. I am around 5'7.5", 5'8". I weighed in today at 172.1 pounds, which means I am still kind of holding steady. These last several weeks, I've been around 171 to 172. I am not trying to gain weight, but I'm also kind of like, okay, it's okay if we pump the brakes a little bit because I know as we get closer, she's going to continue to grow and develop. So, so this week I was really excited. I went on Monday, I walked for like 4 miles. I did some squats, I did some lunges and some circuit training, and my legs were pretty sore the following day, which was good. I needed that. I'm really a little bit disappointed in how little I've wanted to exercise. I've been someone who's always exercised about 5 days a week, 4 days at least. And now I'm lucky if I do 2 to 3. So, I'm trying not to be hard on myself, but I'm also like, okay, I've got to get this together because everyone has told me that when you exercise during your pregnancy, you tend to feel better, you tend to have a faster labor. So my goal is these next 10 weeks, not to pick it up per se, but just get some exercise a little bit more regularly, practice those Kegel exercises, do some lunges and some squats and just things that are low impact, but safe for the baby and that help me to continue and to feel good and to stay flexible. So that's that. This week there's been some really new symptoms, which I have not had yet in pregnancy. The first thing is I think, and it's not for sure, but I think I've had a Braxton Hicks contraction. I felt this, and maybe any moms that have watched, that have had children before know that, comment below, tell me if this is or is not a thing. But we were driving and I felt like a really intense tightening feeling, kind of like it was tight. It was really more on my right side than my left, but it was just like a tightness. It wasn't painful, it was just tight. And it came and went a couple of times. And then actually today at work, I felt it again. And it wasn't a kick, it was just like a tightening around my abdomen. So I think it was a Braxton Hicks. So we'll see. But kick-wise, my doctor told me to start counting the kicks. I should count 10 kicks within a 2-hour period in the morning and at night. I'm feeling kicks, but I don't know. I lay down and I'm just like, okay, I kind of feel her. Okay, then I'll get a kick and then I won't get a kick. And he's like, well, you have an anterior placenta, so you may or may not feel that. I'm like, well, you just told me to count the kicks. So that's a little bit kind of, I don't want to say stressful, but just like, I want to count her kicks, but you're telling me that I might not feel it and I might feel it. So I'm hoping that picks up and I start to feel a lot more movement here in the coming weeks. I've definitely had a lot more heartburn. It's picked up, especially at night. So much so to where I've been having like a Tums almost every night, which I have not had to do so far so frequently. So those are just some new things going on this week. I wanted to tell you guys too, which is more of just like a product that I've been using, but I haven't experienced any stretch marks as of yet, which is great. I'm trying really hard not to prevent stretch marks, but this product I'm about to order my 4th bottle of this product, and I think it's pronounced Basque. It's BASQ NYC in New York City, and it's called the Resilient Body Oil, and it's the lavender scent that I really like. But I have lived in this stuff my entire pregnancy. I've used it morning and night, and it smells fantastic if you like lavender. I love lavender, and it's done a good job. I mean, I'm trying to drink a lot of water and stay hydrated, which I know does help with stretch marks also, but this stuff is great. You just have to be a little bit careful because it is an oil, so if you put it on and don't give it a chance to dry for a few minutes, then it can give an oil stain on your clothes. But I just thought you guys, any first-time moms that are wondering about products, that's one that I've used so far and I've absolutely loved. Also this week, so this past weekend actually was really exciting. Jeff and I got to do, I was calling it a baby moon. He's like, no, this isn't our baby moon. We're going to go again or do something else. But I think this might have been our baby moon. We went, so we live in Orlando, Florida, and we went over to the Gulf, to Sarasota, to a place called St. Armand's. And I think the beach was Lido Beach that we stayed at. And it was so nice. We just left on Saturday morning, took a 2-hour drive over to Sarasota, stayed on the beach, and came back on Sunday. But it was just really nice to get away and have a hotel for the night and to be on the water and at the ocean. It was super relaxing. It was a little bit overcast, but that was totally fine with me. I don't like getting a ton of direct sunlight, but the water is pretty, and it was just really nice. I'm glad we got to do that and have a little bit of one-on-one time, because it's really sinking in that it's just gonna be us two for a little bit longer, and then there's gonna be a family. We're gonna have a little girl. So I loved that. It was so funny though, because before our trip, I had to get a bathing suit because none of my bathing suits fit. And I went to Target to find a suit, and my God, it was hard. I was literally like buying sizes that I couldn't believe I was buying. I mean, I had to buy a large bottom. I had to buy like an XXL top for these girls. And it was just like, oh my God. I hope this is like a one-time bathing suit that I don't have to wear post-pregnancy, but nevertheless, it was really nice. I'm glad we got to go on our trip and get a little bit of us time. The other thing that we actually did last night, which I thought was wonderful, so we are going to have our baby at Florida Hospital, and they offer such great classes for childbirth and for breastfeeding and for like baby CPR and whatnot. So last night was the first of 3 classes that we have registered for to take, leading up, we're becoming new parents. So we want to be as prepared as possible. So last night was our breastfeeding class, which was really awesome. If any of you moms are out there and thinking about breastfeeding, I don't know about you, but breastfeeding has been a very intimidating topic to me. I think it's just a fear that I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to do it, and that I'm not going to be able to give my baby enough milk. And I really love the benefits of breastfeeding. There's a lot of research that shows that it cuts down on allergies for children. It's very healthy for mom, great for postpartum weight loss, great for bonding with the baby. It's something that's really important to me and something that I really want to do. My goal is to breastfeed for 6 months, but I'd really ultimately like to breastfeed for a year. So we took the class last night, which was really great. There was a lot of very useful information on how to make sure that the baby is latching appropriately to your breast. Our hospital is 100% on board with skin-to-skin contact. I had listened to some other moms' videos, and they said, well, you have to request that because some hospitals, they take the baby right away and start weighing the baby and cleaning the baby off. And our hospital, thank God, is very big on skin-to-skin. So as soon as she comes out, they, kind of remove my gown or whatnot, and they put her right on my chest, skin-to-skin. And they leave her there, they say, for, a good 25 minutes to an hour, just depending on how we're doing. And that's also usually when the baby wants to do their first feeding. So they were talking about how you can press your nipple to their nose and they kind of like lift their nose up and open their mouth. I was like, oh my God, it's the cutest thing. It's just, I don't know, it sounds really special and I'm really excited for it. They also talked about registering for a pump. I got a prescription from my doctor actually this week to submit to my insurance because that is covered by insurance. If you have private insurance or through the Affordable Care Act, a breast pump will be provided. So I got to get that sent out this week. But I just highly recommend a breastfeeding class if anyone is planning to breastfeed and that's something that you want to do. I learned a lot that I had not even thought about, and just different positions, like you can hold the baby in a football position, which is like a football where they feed on this, or cross cradle where you actually support the baby's neck, I guess, with your hand that's holding their body, and then you kind of support your breast with the other. Yeah, just really cool stuff. I liked it a lot, and it was so sweet because I went to the restroom during our little break time. They gave us about a 5-minute break. I went to the restroom, and I came back in, and my husband, Jeff, was talking to the instructor, and he was asking her, what can I do as a dad to support her while she's breastfeeding? What are some things that you recommend dads do to, make their wives feel more comfortable or make her experience a lot easier? And I was like, do I seriously not have the best husband? And he's just the sweetest, most thoughtful guy, and I'm so excited to be able to share this journey with him. So that made me all warm and fuzzy inside. But that's about it for week 29. I am feeling really good. My energy is at a good place. I'm not super tired. I'm sleeping very well through the night. I'm still using a pillow in between my legs, but that's it. And it's been uber comfortable. So as promised, I told you guys I would wear something this week where you could actually see my belly because my belly button is slowly disappearing / wanting to pop out. So I'm gonna give you guys a bump shot and then we will wrap it up. But my belly has grown. I don't think I've shown my belly on camera for a couple weeks. So I do have the little linea negra down the middle. Belly button is about to pop. And then from the side, belly's out there. So again, no stretch marks, but definitely pretty full. Pretty full. I also wanted to just mention that if you guys don't, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Chelsea Ains, ChelsyAins. I'll link it below. But that is where I will be posting probably the most, coming closer to baby. I'll still do my weekly updates, but if you want to know when I'm going into labor and a little bit more, follow me on Instagram because you'll get to see the story. I post a lot of Instagram stories. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Oh, one final thing. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling, but I had a subscriber last week ask me if I was comfortable sharing if it wasn't too much TMI, if I had any weird pregnancy things happen or gassy, farty, all that stuff. And I don't think it's too much TMI because truly I looked at other moms' Instagram videos and okay, so trimester 1 and trimester 2, I was so gassy. I mean, I was like a stinky lady. I don't know what it was. It wasn't one specific food, but my body was just adjusting and I was super, super gassy. And that's gotten a lot better in the 3rd trimester, these last 3 weeks, I would say, towards the end of my 2nd and beginning of my 1st trimester. I mean, it was nothing that I would take medicine for. I was just gassy and had to deal with it. But that's about the only gross pregnancy thing that I've experienced so far, in terms of just weirdness. So she asked, I just thought I would share. But anyway, if you guys want to know anything else, or if you are also a first-time mom and this is your week 29 or close to week 29, comment below. Let me know what you're experiencing. I love hearing, my subscribers, what's going on in their lives too, and kind of just supporting other moms through this process. So yeah, comment below and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't and you want to tune in for week 30 update. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.